Picture a country way up in northern Europe surrounded by freezing seas and thick forests, a place called Sweden. And even though it is not the biggest country in the world, it has managed to do something truly amazing by building one of the smartest and most impressive fighter jets on the planet all by itself. And that jet is called the Gripen, which is made by a Swedish company named Saab that has been creating incredible flying machines for a very long time. And the Gripen story started decades ago when Sweden needed a jet that could do 3 jobs at once, which are fighting other planes in the sky, attacking targets on the ground, and gathering important information during missions. And they squeezed all 3 of those abilities into one lightweight and super nimble airplane called the JAS-39. And pilots around the world quickly noticed that this smaller jet could actually go toe-to-toe with much bigger and more expensive fighters, which is pretty cool when you think about it. And then, in 2017, a brand new upgraded version called the Gripen E arrived, and it changed everything, because it came loaded with a really powerful radar system that can spot objects from a huge distance away, a better engine based on a design called the F414 that gives it more power and lets it fly farther on a single tank of fuel, a special infrared sensor that can find heat signatures from other aircraft even when radar alone might not work, and upgraded electronic defense tools that help protect the jet from enemy attacks. And all of these features are connected through smart computers inside the cockpit that take mountains of information and turn it into a simple, clear picture on the pilot's screen, so they always know exactly what is happening around them. But here's where things get really exciting, because Sweden and Saab are not done yet, and they're already planning what the next Gripen will look like. And people in the defense world are calling it a 6th-generation fighter, which basically means it will be packed with technology that doesn't even fully exist yet. And one of the biggest areas they're working on is how to make the jet almost invisible to enemy radar by using special shapes and coatings on the outside of the airplane that soak up radar waves instead of bouncing them back. Kind of like how a dark-colored shirt absorbs sunlight instead of reflecting it. And they're also looking at building totally new types of engines that can switch the way they operate depending on whether the jet needs to cruise slowly and save fuel or blast forward at extreme speed. And some engineers are even thinking about adding small electric motors alongside the traditional jet engine to create a hybrid system, similar to how some cars today use both gasoline and electricity. And another huge part of the plan involves artificial intelligence, which is a fancy way of saying really smart computer programs that can learn and think almost like a human brain. And these AI systems could help the pilot recognize threats faster, suggest the best moves during a fight, and even control a group of robot drones that fly alongside the Gripen like a team of loyal robot buddies. And these drones could carry their own cameras and weapons and do dangerous jobs like flying ahead to scout enemy positions or acting as decoys to confuse the other side, so the real pilot stays safe. And when it comes to weapons, the future Gripen could carry hypersonic missiles, which are rockets that travel at 5 or more times the speed of sound, making them nearly impossible to stop. And there's even talk about directed energy weapons, which use focused beams of energy to knock out enemy electronics without ever firing a traditional bullet or missile. And what makes this whole story even more interesting is how Sweden fits into the bigger picture of keeping Europe safe. Because in recent years, Sweden has started working more closely with a military alliance called NATO, and has even joined a British-led project called Tempest that is trying to build a brand new 6th-generation jet by the 2030s. So the future Gripen might share ideas and technology with other friendly countries while still being designed and built on Swedish soil, which is really important to Sweden because they want to make sure they never have to depend on someone else to protect their own skies. And this matters a lot because Sweden sits right at the gateway to the Baltic Sea, very close to Russia, and in a part of the world where military tensions have been growing. So having a homegrown, world-class fighter jet is not just a point of pride for Sweden, it's a real necessity for keeping its people safe. And beyond all the technology and strategy, the Gripen is also a powerful symbol that shows the rest of the world what a determined and creative nation can accomplish, even without a giant military budget. And every single person involved, from the engineers who draw the blueprints, to the factory workers who bolt the pieces together, to the brave pilots who climb into the cockpit, plays an important role in this incredible achievement. So the next time you hear the name Gripen, just remember it represents the heart and spirit of an entire country that refuses to be underestimated. And its best days are still ahead, because this story is far from over. It's really just getting started. So if you liked learning about this awesome fighter jet, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you get notified every time a new video drops. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.